Hey guys, it's Matt, aka the Tattooed Trout Dude, just doing a quick little product review. A buddy of mine lent me the Douglas Argus reel to test out and fish, and give a little review, give my thoughts on. So I'm gonna start off on the pouch. This is the pouch that it comes with. It's a nice velvety, I guess, material on the inside. Keep your reel protected. There's a foam insert on the bottom. So like when you're dropping the bag, throw it in your truck or something, it's gonna protect it. It's more of the style of like a vintage Hardy pouch, which I like because this reel is more of a classic click and pawl design. So now let's talk about the reel real quick. I'm using a 3-inch model. I think that's the perfect size and weight for a 4 or 5 weight rod. That's what I'm normally fishing for trout. So that's the one I wanted to test out, was the 3-inch. Also, 3-inch is like the classic size for a trout click and pawl reel, in my mind at least. So a little bit about the reel. First thing I noticed is it's machined extremely well. Tolerances are super tight. It's just a clean, slick, classic looking reel. The brass reel seat on it, gives it that extra touch, and it just feels solid, like it's gonna, really take a beating. It's made in the US, which I love. Support our, US manufacturers in upstate New York. I'll give you a little sound of the click. What makes this click different? All right, that's the outgoing. That's the incoming and the outgoing. So what makes this, this click and pawl different, much smoother in my mind, is the amount of teeth on the actual spool itself. There's twice the amount of teeth on this spool, and they're not as, I guess the gap in between each tooth, it's not as large, so it's more of a finer toothed gear, so it just gives it a smoother feel, I guess. It's extremely smooth. All click and pawls, they don't really have startup inertia, but even on like the older Hardys and stuff, in between clicks, you'll feel that there's some play in between each click. This, it's just, there's no play, it's just smooth. So that's something I really do like. Another feature I really like about this reel is the pawl mechanism is actually a spring, not a leaf spring like the Hardys, which I feel, weaken over time. This is an actual spring in here, and that's all, this is just to adjust it, this little knob right here. The tension, even on the tightest setting, it's still, you're still gonna have to palm the reel if you hook into a large fish and it runs. But that's the whole fun of fishing a click and pawl. So it is, you can convert it to a right-hand retrieve. Right now it's left-hand retrieve. There's a little threaded insert here, and you would just take this little screw out and switch this pawl mechanism to this side, and that would reverse your retrieve direction. So initial thoughts on the reel. I fished it quite a bit now. Dislikes. Alright, one of my biggest dislikes about the reel is the handle. It just feels, like you don't get a good grip, but I will give it to them. It is a traditional looking reel, so they did go with the traditional handle on it, so I understand that. Fishing it after a while, you do kind of get used to it. I really am liking this reel a lot. The sound, it's not as much as a defined click, but I guess that just has to do with the smoothness of it. So some people might be, I'm a snob, so the sound, to me, it took a little bit to get used to, just because I like that loud click. It is definitely a loud audible click, just more of a smoother, softer, subtle click. And reeling in, when you're reeling in fast, it's, I don't know, it's just different, I guess. But that's just aesthetics and being picky and whatnot. So as for durability, it's all CNC machined. I'm pretty sure 6061 T bar stock aluminum or whatever, just like any other major manufacturer that's doing the right thing. So final thoughts. I dig it. I really do like it. I'm gonna end up buying one. So that's the Douglas Argus reel, 3-inch.